I have an idea, but first I want to show you this little ruin thing that I built. I just decided late last night that I was just gonna get on and build something quick, so I decided I'm just gonna do a little ruin right here. I think it's a good spot for it. Looks pretty nice. You could see it very nice through the window in this house. Let me go show you that. It's pretty cool. Right where my bed is, right out that window, right there. When the sun's going down, it's right behind it. It looks super cool. Let's show you that. But my idea, hang on, see that? What a shot right there. What a shot. It's beautiful. It's gonna look even better once these pillars behind it are finished. It's gonna be great. But my idea is to just throw some stone walls everywhere. If you've ever been to New England, they have them everywhere, and they're using like, I don't know, it's 17, 1800s as like the property lines. So you'll just see like everywhere. It's just gonna be like ruined walls just going across like forests and stuff. They're literally everywhere, and they look pretty cool. And you can't get rid of them, so they're just stuck everywhere. But they're literally everywhere, and it kind of shows that like at one point there was something there. It was someone's property, someone's farm maybe. And I think that's gonna look very cool. We just like have that going literally everywhere. It'll show some more aging of the area, and I think that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. We'll show that everywhere. It's gonna break up everything pretty nicely. I feel like we could have some like sections that like go across this path. It's like broken there, and the path went through. Yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty good. It's just gonna add a little more detail to the world here, and I think it's gonna be quite something. But I realize I haven't shown you this yet. I put in this little wall, this little lake here, and it's gonna be a little forest. But before I put this all these trees and stuff in, I'm gonna put the walls in, and I think it's gonna be easier to put the walls in first. I think, but it's gonna be some trees like this over here, and then I'm gonna add another type of tree, a third type of tree, but I want it to be a little like wider because these are all so tall, and it's just like if you're looking through doesn't feel like a forest yet because it's just all these tall thin trees, so we need some little shorter, some little thicker to really fill out the canopy, so we're gonna go ahead and build these walls, then I can work on maybe constructing some trees. But I'm gonna get after stretching these walls in this entire area. They'll probably go from here, the river area. I don't know how far this way I'm gonna go yet, but it'll probably go like stop in this line here and then follow this, and it's gonna go everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be back when I'm finished. So let's get after it, huh? Okay, I put in quite a few of these walls. A lot of them are just broken up around these paths, which I think looks pretty cool. This is right where that forest is gonna be, right along here. Let me show you an overview. So we got the path, or the wall going all the way down there. It's going up through the farm here a little bit. It's got over here. It's going out this way, over here, over to this wall, through here. Another one back here. They're literally everywhere. Mainly in the area I built so far, but I think once we start extending outwards, it's gonna keep this idea going. I think it looks pretty good. I think it adds another level of detail to this area that really makes you feel like there was something here. There was a ruin, there was a city or a town or something here, and I think that looks pretty cool. But now I think I'm going to head into a creative world and start figuring out how to build a tree, because to be quite honest with you, I build all these tall trees because I don't know how to build like an oak tree or something that's like wider. I have no idea, so I'm gonna have to get into creative and figure something out. All right, I'm in a creative world where I was testing some of these other trees out, but now we got to build an oak tree, and I'm thinking Maybe I do a little of this for the trunk here, like the dark mud and dripstone. So let's get some of the dripstone. Let's get some mud bricks, because I can use these as some stems here, and then the classic spruce for some more branches coming out. That's the word I was looking for. But let's come over here and let's start building a nice wide base here. Yeah, I really have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna start placing blocks until something stands out to me, you know? So let's come in here, let's build some yeah, I'm just gonna start building some shit out here. What if we go like this, build this coming out? A little bit of that, a little bit of that. Maybe some of that. And then we'll start going up. I'll do the same branches, I guess, as like over here, where I have the main trunk and then the branches or the walls coming out. That might be something, but they gotta be coming out a little wider than my past trees. So let's see how this works for me. Some branches going quite literally everywhere, nice and wide. The leaves are where I usually struggle, because it just like ends up looking like a blob, and I don't want that to happen. You know, I want them to be nice and stretched out. You want to see some gaps in it, some light shining through. That really what makes the tree look good, especially in Minecraft, is having the light. It's not just solid leaves going through. So that's honestly, that's not that bad. That's not the best I've done, but not the worst by any means. Maybe I don't need the spruce, but let's get some leaves. We'll do mainly oak, and then we'll come back in with some spruce and birch. Get some highlights and some dark spots. I guess. Yeah, we'll figure that out when we get to it. But for now, we're just gonna cover the branches a little bit. I'll go a little too much. Go like this. Get some spots around here. We'll do this, and then we'll start connecting it to make it look like a nice bushy tree here. Or maybe, do I go up higher and have another layer? Maybe that'll help, actually. Let me try that. So let's do... Should I just take this up? Yeah, I think I just take that up, and then we'll take some of you. We'll go like this, maybe. Just gotta make it look like a branch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just gotta look like it might be a branch. A lot of it's gonna be covered by leaves anyway, but I still want it to be kind of cool, looking. That's a little too thin. Maybe what if it's this whole thing? I don't think so. Let's go back to here. Do this. We'll do... Am I lagging right now? I don't know what's going on. Let's do that. Let's add some branch action coming out over here. Yeah, let me work out some of these branches, then I'll come back. Okay, I didn't add too many more branches, but let's try that. Let's get some more of these leaves in here, covering these walls, going just up and around. Not too thick, but not too thin. We're just gonna look like it's not what I want exactly, but we'll throw some of that in here. Let's throw some on here. A little that, a little that, a little that. Just kind of putting them wherever, because I want to be able to see the branches a little bit. It's kind of the goal, but see the branches in a tasteful way. So let's start throwing some leaves on the higher branches, like so. Just kind of placing them wherever. and hoping it looks good when I go down, or it looks like something I could work with when it goes back, or I take a step back. That. Let's do you. Get in here. Okay. Okay, potentially this is working. Oh god, slash weather. Oh, that's not how you spell weather. Weather clear. Let's do that. A little more. Alright. So that looks awful. Is what that's looking like right now. But maybe if I put another branch coming this way, I kind of expected it to not be great, but that might add something here. Problem is going to be replicating this in survival when I can't just fly around placing leaves. That's going to be the hardest part about this whole process here. Now I think if I fill out some of these branches, this might be something. This might have something here. Let's make the tops a little bushier. Bush is back, if you didn't know. So let's get this in and really showcase that. Let's do a little of that, making sure there's some air in here, not just straight leafage. Let's go like that. Now let's bush up this. Maybe. Is this doing something? Who knows? We'll take a step back in a second and look at it. Let's fill this in a little bit, maybe. How's that looking? Okay. Let's do that over here. Yeah, this is where I struggle the most in making like oak trees. I just don't know how to get the leaves in a good way. When I'm watching people making trees, they just like they got leaves like floating. They got them like on like corners like this to make it like seem bushy, and it's like it works so well every time for them, and I can never do it right. So I'm really hoping I can finally figure this out and use that in my own world, because it looks so good once it's done right. This might be all right, you know. I think this might be all right. Maybe I finally made a decent looking oak kind of tree, you know, a nice bushy tree. Maybe I finally did it. Maybe I didn't, you know. People can tell me once this video comes out. Yeah, that looks like ass, and then they're probably right, and I'll probably get rid of them all and try again. But that's okay. I want it to look good. Let's see. Let's get some of that. Some of you. Push you up. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. We can come out a little wider over here. This needs something. Yeah, building this in survival is gonna be great ass. You know, I don't think that's bad, but I don't like seeing the underside of this that much. Did that just do it? Let's see. Maybe I add some more of these floating, like, diagonal leafage. Make it a little bushy. Some of that, some of you. Let's get you in here. Maybe come down a little bit. Like that. And more down here. Let's see. I think this is doing something, maybe. Hopefully. Let's get that. Let's get you. Let's get you. You, maybe. How's that looking? Oh. Okay. We might be getting somewhere here. Hang on a minute. Let me go fill out some of these leaves. And then bring you back and see how it looks and see what we can improve. But I'll be back. Okay. What do we think? I really don't think that's too bad. The only thing, I think the leaves are pretty good. The only thing I would change is maybe the trunk needs to be a little thicker down here, because it's such a wide tree with a lot of branches. I think it would make sense that the trunk's a little thicker. So let's let's try changing this a little bit. So let's bring that all the way down. Maybe just that. Is that? I think that actually helped quite a bit. Let's see if I finish. Oh, where am I going? Here. Let's see if I do this. Finish doing some detail around it. Just kind of placing shit, basically. It's what I'm doing here. Do that. And that. Possibly. Oh yeah. I think that's better. I think that's definitely better. Let's see if I can bring some roots coming out. Is that gonna add anything, or is that gonna make it just too much? It might make it too much. Let's see. No, I really think I think that works. Maybe I bring that in. That like that. Yeah. No, I like that. I definitely like that, and I think that combined with some of these trees, it's gonna fill out that forest. It's gonna make it so like you're actually like walking under a tree. You can see leaves looking up, see branches. But if you're under these, it's just kind of like leaves. You can't really get under it, you know, because it's so thin. But these you can really get under. Maybe I can make some with some longer branches coming out. That'd be really nice. Because like this was an attempt of making a tree kind of like that. I was trying to make some leaves coming down. It looks terrible. Let's be honest. Maybe the branches are kind of fine, but like the leaves are awful. And I think that, well, it's not perfect. No tree's perfect, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think from each angle, it's got something interesting going on. So I think I go with this. I think I go with this design and start bringing that into the Survivor world. So like, why don't I go do that? And I'll show you how it looks in there. I'll be back. All right. Here we have it. We put a couple of them in. Definitely adding some bushiness that this forest didn't have before. We got one here. We got one here. I extended this path going this way, and then we got another one there, another one here, another one there. So we got 5 of them hanging out in this little forest area. The more we add, I think the better it's gonna look. And eventually, I'll do this on my own, but it's gonna take a while. So I gotta put a lot of trees in here. But we'll do that. But for now, I think this is looking pretty good. I like this one here. It's going over the end of the path. I think that looks very nice. In fact, I think it looks good enough for the point where I might put some trees closer onto this path to cover it a little bit, or maybe let's not trample the weed. Maybe I put some on the edge or extend that one to go out over the path a little more here. I think that's gonna look very nice. But yeah, I think that's looking pretty good so far. It's just more I add, the better it's gonna be. That in conglomeration with these walls here, it took a second for me to get out, Jesus, but I think it's looking pretty nice. And then we'll extend that. It's gonna be very cohesive. You know, we got the forest here. I think I'll wrap the forest on this side of the two, and if I put those trees going over, nice leaf covered path, it's gonna look very nice. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of work, but that's okay. That's something I can do when I'm bored, which is quite often. So I'll get in here, start laying in some trees. Getting the leaves is the hardest part about this by far, because it's so annoying. But we'll get it done, and I'll show you guys that probably in my next episode. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.